Hey guys, I placed an order at Tom Ford Beauty for their new blushes and some of their new eye quads. And I thought I would try them out with you today so we can do some swatches. I got all of the blushes that were available. There is one shade that seems to be out of stock there and also on Sephora. So I feel like maybe there's a production issue with that one shade. I don't think it's sold out. And it actually reminded me of the last blush release that they had. Do you remember? It was like a split pan kind of blush. I can't remember the name of them. So sorry. Oh, it was like the shade and Illuminate like blush duo or something. Anyway, they had like one or two shades in there that were out of stock, like starting right at the release. And yeah, and I remember thinking like, oh wow, those are like really popular. That's so interesting. But it was that they were having production issues with those shades. So anyway, same thing here, I think. So I got 5 out of the 6 new blush shades, and then I decided to get 2 of the new quads because I wanted to see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if these eyeshadows are reformulated. If they are, I just want to see like how similar they are to the old ones. So I got one creme eye color quad of Olive Smoke because I never got that in the previous release. And then I did get the eye color quad in Evening Attire because this is, I don't know if it's brand new to this release or if it's just like a shade that I don't know, just never came across my radar. Don't know. Don't know. I have to say I've been pretty, I don't know, is jaded the right word when it comes to Tom Ford Beauty? Maybe a little bit jaded because over the past few years, it's just felt like they've been dialing it in. They've been just sort of repackaging eyeshadow quads or coming out with these kind of like really piddly releases where they used to, gosh, I remember, I mean, years ago at this point, maybe 5-6 years ago, their like Soleil Neige collection would come out and it would be, oh my God, just absolutely stunning. And it would have so many different quads and this and whatever. Anyway, I do feel like their releases have been a little half-assed over the past several years. And I've just kind of fallen off of Tom Ford. I haven't really been that excited for a lot of their releases. And I was really excited. I was really excited for these blushes. I really hope they don't, they better not let me down. And then the eyeshadow quads, I'm like, okay, I'm sure that's one of the best sellers of the Tom Ford Beauty line. If you guys remember just like how popular they were, especially the wet dry formula. So I'm really curious how these are going to perform. I even threw in there because I started to get sort of nostalgic about Tom Ford Beauty and how much I loved it back in the day, that I got one of the lip colors in Sable Smoke. This was one of the most iconic shades, like way back in the day. Sable Smoke, Casablanca, like there were so many gorgeous lip colors. And at this point, I think I've decluttered all of my Tom Ford lipsticks because when they first came out, they used to go rancid really quickly. Do you remember that? And then they reformulated it where it didn't go rancid very quickly. But then they came out with like the boys, was it the boys and girls? I can't even remember anymore, but like the little boys lipsticks, they were like little. I got a whole bunch of those. They used to come out with the best shade range of like nude shades, cool tone, warmer tones, just really, really gorgeous. And again, I feel like they just kind of fell off. So anyway, I decided to get Sable Smoke because I was like, oh, Sable Smoke. I loved that shade. Okay, we'll get to that. So I just have foundation down. I actually threw my Dior foundation stick on because I'm going to be trying all of these blushes and, you know, kind of removing or whatever. And the foundation stick is really easy to reapply. So I thought we would do that. But I just wanted to share with you that if you place an order, I think it's maybe $300 or more, you get a free pencil brush case. When I first opened up my box, I was like, did they throw in sunglasses? No, they threw in a free brush case. Oh, it's cute. It's like a dark brown nylon. And how lovely. I feel like the Tom Ford brushes are actually longer than this though. I've also fallen off the Tom Ford brushes because they used to have natural hair brushes and they changed them to synthetic, which is fine. There's some really amazing synthetic brushes out there. I happen to prefer natural hair. I just feel like they perform better. They are higher maintenance, but anyway, they changed them over to synthetic hair brushes and they're not good. Like you guys know how much I love BK Beauty brushes, Westman Atelier brushes, Hourglass brushes. Those are all synthetic hair brushes and they perform beautifully. But the Tom Ford like revamped synthetic hair brushes aren't good. Not even in comparison to the natural hair brushes, just in general, synthetic hair brushes, just not good. So that was also really disappointing. And I remember going to the Estee Lauder company store where you can get, you know, like older products or whatever, but basically like things at a pretty deep discount. And they had a lot of the Tom Ford natural hair brushes. And I went for a while. They don't anymore. They're pretty much all gone. But I would go for a while and just buy any brushes that I could find that either I wanted like duplicates of or I didn't have. Oh, what a time to be alive. Those were good makeup days. Okay, let me start. I'm actually gonna start with the eyeshadows. Let's just get some eyeshadow on my eyes. I feel like that will actually help, like, you know, the look of the blushes. I think if I put just blush on a bare face, it's just gonna look kind of weird. So I did purchase Olive Smoke in the Creme formula. And this is an existing shade, or, you know, like a shade that they had in the previous line. But here is that new packaging. So it's got the T across. I mean, it's essentially the same. It's the same shape, it's the same coloring or whatever, same kind of quality plastic, but it's got the T. And I believe this matte brown is to indicate that this is a creme quad. This part of the T, the bar that comes down, that's the clasp basically. So these pans look bigger. Actually, let me pull out an existing Eye Color Quad Creme to compare. Yeah, here is Violet Satine. So this is the older creme packaging. And then let me hold this up. So the new pans look more square. So they're definitely bigger, at least surface wise, they're bigger. What does the back say? Total weight. Actually, the total weight is less. So there's less. So it's an optical illusion that there's more product. Yeah, there's total product in the old one. It was 9 grams and now it's 8 grams. I mean, not too much of a difference, but you know, not surprising. These quads are so expensive now and we're getting less product. It's like the way of the world at this point. Okay, so that is the Eye Color Creme. Let me just do a quick swatch of these. Let's just take one last look at this the beautiful embossing of the TF before I ruin it. The formula feels a little bit, what's the word? It feels a little bit firmer than the older creme. They swatch beautifully. So that's Olive Smoke. Again, this is existing. I never got the previous version, so I thought I would pick this up to compare, at least the formula. So yeah, they definitely feel firmer. So the previous Eye Color Creme, you can see actually this shade right there, which was my favorite in this particular quad. You can see there's like a little bit of a dip there. These felt a little bit more putty, like a little bit creamier, actually creamier. These feel very, what's the word? They feel definitely creamy, but like, but more like slick. So I would say that there's definitely been a formula change. All right, and let's check out Evening Attire, which is again in like the regular pressed powder version. And this packaging has the gold tea, so versus the creme packaging. You know what's funny? The only Eye Color Quads non-creme version that I saved from the older line is Nude Dip and Honeymoon. And both of those are the wet dry formula. So I'm not comparing apples to apples, you know what I mean? I'm kind of comparing apples to oranges here, but it was 6 grams of product in the wet dry formula and there's 11 grams of product in this new pressed powder. So I don't know. Again, I feel like that's, you know, I'm not really comparing two very similar things, but I really do like this color story. I think that's really pretty. So we've got 2 matte shades, which would be this one and this one. And then we've got 1 sparkle shade and 1 demi matte. Okay, there are the swatches for that. These feel okay. They feel okay. I feel like the previous version maybe felt a little bit silkier, but I think when it comes to eyeshadow, we're just gonna have to see how they perform. So for today's video, I'm not gonna try both quads. I do wanna try this Evening Attire because this color story is at least new to me. I don't think I've seen it before, so we're gonna start with this guy and we'll use the Olive Smoke another time. So I'm gonna start with this matte shade. I've got my number 15 brush from Refer, and I am gonna try synthetic haired brush as well, just to see, you know, if these work better with one over the other. So pretty typical powder formula. There's a little bit of kick up in there. Definitely wanna knock off the excess. Okay, nice pigmentation, blends out nicely so far. I think that worked very nicely. I'm just gonna use this Refer number 1 brush, and I'm gonna go into this demi matte shade here. And just deepen up my outer corner here. Okay, nice. Okay, there is that darker shadow. So far, these are okay. I don't find that this formula has like a richness to it. And I don't mean like, you know, a lot of pigmentation or whatever, but there are some formulas that just feel like, you know, you can tell that immediately that they're like buildable, that there's going to be like a longevity to them. I don't really feel, I don't have that confidence with these shadows. There's like a lightness to them. I don't know, they feel, I guess they just feel a little thin. It's not even like building up that nicely. It's okay. All right, let me keep going. I've got my BK Beauty A501 brush. This is like a flatter shader brush. I'm gonna go into this sparkle shade up here. Yeah, this one feels kind of thin too, which is okay if they meant it to be a topper shade, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is the fact that I'm using a synthetic, so I'm gonna try a natural hair, and I'm gonna go in, and this is also denser too. So this is the number 2 brush from Refer. No, still kind of thin. Actually, I think I had better luck with the BK Beauty. I'm gonna take this 14 brush from Refer. I'm gonna go into this deep matte shade. I'm just gonna add to my lash line here. Okay. I mean, I think so far, I mean, it's first impressions here. I think so far this palette, or the formula, I should say, is okay. I think it's very, very mediocre. I find the formula to be like just a little bit too thin. The pigmentation is okay. It is like a little buildable, but I don't know. For Tom Ford, for the price point and everything, I feel like it's a little lackluster. Like it could just be, I don't know, more exciting. It almost feels like the beauty team over there just kind of like picked up where they left off in like 2019, and eyeshadows and makeup in general, skincare even, like the formulas have really, really gotten so good and really progressed. And like you can make really beautiful eyeshadows with like a very special formula that have like high impact but aren't like overly pigmented or whatever. Like the Dior shadows, like the one that I just tried, the brown brocart. This, I mean, was absolutely beautiful, but it's still very subtle. I think it's still very elegant and chic. It's so much more elevated. You know, the formula is so much more elevated. This seemed very, very basic, very basic. And I'm not talking about the color story. Obviously, this is a very neutral kind of color story, but this is a very neutral palette, which appeals to me, but I don't know. I like a basic look. I like a basic color story, but I don't really like a basic formula. All right, let me just finish up like my eye look. I'm gonna add a little bit of brow pencil. I do actually have the Tom Ford Brow Sculptor in number 4 Espresso. And I say this whenever I feel like I get the chance, but I am still bitter about the Fiber Brow Gel from Tom Ford. I'm just gonna say it. I mean, this brow pencil is nice, but whatever. It's not the Fiber Brow Gel. I used to hoard Tom Ford mascaras because I would fall in love with the formula and they would all be limited edition or part of, you know, like a special capsule collection. So I have a whole drawer full of like backup makeup. Whenever like Nordstrom would have their, do you know their mascara event? You would buy two and get one free, or yeah, I think it was buy two, get one free or whatever. And Tom Ford would constantly be coming out with like these limited edition kind of mascaras. And I was like, okay, I need to, I really like this mascara. I need to stock up on them. I just have so much mascara. I don't even go through that much mascara, and I'm always constantly like turning them over or whatever. And because of that, I thought it would be a good idea to hoard mascara. It's not. It's never a good idea to hoard makeup. But anyway, I have a badass mascara from Tom Ford. This, I mean, it's unopened, but this is probably like 5, 6 years old. Shall we try it? It's this guy. It came in the all silver packaging. I love this mascara, and then the Soleil Neige one. What was that called? Like Lash Raise. I probably have a backup of that. Hold on. Oh my God, I do. I have 2 of these. Yeah, Lash Raise mascara. Maybe I should open up one of these. Do you remember that? I have the Ultra Length mascara. I don't even know if they have these anymore. I have Extreme mascara, and I do even have a fiber brow gel. It's like I don't want to open it. I don't want to open it. So that I'm keeping in my backup drawer. Oh my God, I have such a problem. Okay, I have 2 of these Lash Rays, so maybe I should open that up instead of the Badass, because I only have one of the Badass as a backup. Okay, we're gonna do it. The Lash Raise mascara. This one I really liked because it was very separating and lengthening, I remember. We'll see. All of these are probably like 5 or 6 years old. Yeah, it came in the white packaging. Oh. Okay, here we go. Look, it would keep my curl. Oh, so good. So good. I was so bummed when this was discontinued. I mean, I don't think they ever meant for this to be part of the permanent collection, but basically when they started running out of stock and this was out of stock everywhere, I was devastated. But look at how good that mascara is. Keeps my curl, separates, lengthens, all of it. Tom Ford, bring this back. If you're gonna like be recycling stuff, like bring back the good stuff. Okay, eyes are done. Let's jump into these new Architecture Soft Matte Blushes. Again, I got 5 out of the 6 shades. Let me unbox all of these and we'll do some close-ups and some swatches of these. Okay, here are swatches. We've got Crushed Rose, Brushed Plum, Tawny Veil, Golden Peach, and Bright Poppy. Okay, because I have Sable Smoke to use, and you guys know that's just such a beautiful nude, I think I'm gonna end with the Tawny Veil. So I'm just gonna start with Bright Poppy. Let's just go for it. This is a beautiful, beautiful bright shade. It is very similar to the Dior Cherry. Here's the Dior Cherry, and here's the Tom Ford. I mean, they look almost identical. Let's do some swatches. Okay, so the Tom Ford is on top. I'd say the Tom Ford has a little bit more orange in there, a touch more orange. Okay, I've got my Ilia Precision Powder Brush. I'm gonna go into bright. A lot was picked up. Let me tap off the excess. Okay, it does blend out really beautifully. The pigmentation is definitely there, but I do like that if you apply a little bit too much, especially a shade like this, it does blend out really nicely. Okay, next we're gonna try Golden Peach. I've got my Refer number 5 brush, which is a natural haired brush. So we're gonna see if there's any kind of difference. I do think it applied a little bit more evenly and a little bit more effortlessly with the natural haired brush, kind of to be expected, but I don't know if it's like that much of a difference. But I do like how these blushes are behaving. I think they're blending out really nicely. They're applying really nicely. And sorry, brush hair. And I don't typically like matte blushes. I don't mind a soft matte because it can look really kind of like powdery and ethereal. And that's what I feel like these are giving. Okay, there's Golden Peach applied, and there's Bright Poppy. Both of these shades are really, really bright. Really bright Golden Peach. Okay, I just reapplied my Dior foundation stick. Excuse me, my Dior foundation stick. And I'm going to actually powder a little bit. I didn't powder over my foundation before I applied those blushes before, so I want to see if it makes a difference. So I'm using my Kogen Natural Lighting Powder. Okay, I'm gonna go in with Brushed Plum, and I've got this dual-ended Hourglass. I think it's like their ambient lighting brush. I'm gonna go into the fluffier side. Okay, I do think it applies much better over powder than just the foundation. Not really a surprise, powder on powder, always kind of like smoother. Okay, so there is Brushed Plum. Nice. I could see using this as like a dimension builder to one of these lighter shades. Like if you want to layer like this to kind of use as a contour and then this on top to like brighten up. I think that could be fun. But I think alone on my complexion, this is a little bit deep. Okay, next let's use Crushed Rose. And I'm actually gonna use the Refer 24 brush, which is very, very similar to the Tom Ford, the original blush brush that they had. This was such a good brush from Tom Ford. I'm so glad Refer has this brush because it's very, very similar to that one. Okay, there is Crushed Rose. I really like that shade. I think it's appropriate for my skin tone. It definitely applies much more beautifully over the loose powder, and I really like it with this natural haired brush. So this is with the Hourglass synthetic hair, and this is with the Refer 24 brush. Yeah, this could be the winning combination. This brush over loose powder, very pretty. All right, guys, we're gonna go into Tawny Veil, and the only clean brushes I have left are these Hourglass dual-ended ambient lighting brushes. I'm gonna use the firmer side for this application. I really like these blushes. I think they perform really nicely. I like how they blend out. I like the level of pigmentation. And once I put the loose powder down, I think that they have that like really beautiful kind of like ethereal look to them. They look very like blown out. Setting powder is not always something I apply over my foundation, but I'm gonna have to remember if I wanna use these blushes that I need to at least put powder down on my cheeks. All right, and to finish off the look, we're gonna end with Sable Smoke. I'm so excited to try this lipstick out again. I wonder if I'm gonna love it as much as I remember loving it, but I'm gonna start with a lip pencil. I've got the Tom Ford Irresistible. And here is Sable Smoke, the packaging. Look, the TF embossing. Look how beautiful that color is. Oh my gosh. Oof. There's Sable Smoke. Oh, you guys, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I got this. After all of these years, Sable Smoke is back in my life. Do you remember when this was like sold out all the time too? Oh my gosh. Well, we tried out some of the new Tom Ford stuff. I do like the blushes. I'm on the fence about the eyeshadow quads. I will definitely get back to you on those. I do have to try the Olive Smoke. I am convinced the formula is different, which I'm a little disappointed about. Try not to get too dramatic about it, but I'm a little disappointed about that because I do love the previous Eye Color Quad Creme formula. That was, I mean, those were gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, but these definitely feel different. We'll see, we'll see. I mean, maybe they're different and they're nice in a different way or whatever, we'll have to see, but I will play with those. I will report back. This eyeshadow quad, first impressions, I'm not that impressed. It's okay. But like I said, this is Tom Ford Beauty. Like I want something special. I want something that blows my skirt up. I want something that makes me go, ooh, I want something that makes me go, ah, and it didn't make me do any of those things. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.